My name's Gareth Mottram. I am the policy lead at ADBA, the Anaerobic Digestion and Bioresources Association. We represent the AD sector in the UK. We are not properly valuing the potential of the sector. We have a number of mechanisms that are just focused on the energy content. So the FITS and ROCs programs were brought in just to support renewable electricity from AD. And then we moved to the RHI, which is now closed for new entrants, to support biomethane injection. And now we're onto the Green Gas Support Scheme, again, just basically supporting biomethane injection. These ignore the carbon capture potential of AD. They ignore the nutrient recycling value of AD. They ignore the energy security value of AD. So a mechanism or a series of mechanisms, preferably, that properly values the impact that AD can have, each for its own value, that's essential, which is a very significant change in the mindset of the policy creators. Classic barriers to developers are planning, permitting, and things like the farming rules for water, which restrict digestate spreading, investability, which is made more difficult by the fact that there is an end date to the Green Gas Support Scheme and there isn't yet sight of anything to replace it. So that makes it very difficult for anybody to put the funding together to build a new site. The permits required for taking in food waste, shortage of reliable contracts for food waste for a food waste plant. If we can get that change in mindset to value each of the individual benefits from AD properly, we can create a joined up policy framework that really can be the exemplar for the globe. The French have done an amazing job of kickstarting their sector over the last couple of years. In some ways it's not that hard. I still think we can do a better job, but it's a bit of an uphill battle at the moment. Things like the standard rules for agricultural AD sites have some very, very restrictive components to them. They have explicit residence times built in, which don't necessarily reflect some of the more advanced technologies that have come around in the last few years. They restrict the amount of biogas that can be stored on site, and also consequently the amount of carbon dioxide that can be stored on site, and make it impossible to justify small-scale CO2 separation. They make it impossible to capture gas from lagoon covers and use it in a generator. There's 2 pages of A4 currently being compiled to go up to the government and say, please, can we get these changed? Next year at World Biogas Expo 2026, I hope I will be celebrating 2 things. One, that the UK Emissions Trading Scheme properly recognises zero-rated biomethane as allowing you to reduce your ETS exposure. That would put a rocket under the industry that we've not seen for a while. And the other one would be that we have a clear, long-term, preferably open-ended support mechanism to follow on from Green Gas Support Scheme having been announced. The call to action, I would say, is please write to the World Resources Institute and ask them to hurry up and work out how they're going to support market-based mechanisms for biomethane under the GHG protocol. That's holding up the voluntary markets and decarbonisation of all kinds of sectors that aren't covered by the ETS, and that's affecting the whole world and biomethane sector globally. So write to the WRI, ask them to pull their finger out.